All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews, and we are back with The Expanse. We're doing Season 1, Episode 2, The Big Empty. So, full spoilers if you haven't seen the episode. Again, another really solid episode of this show. It's only 2 episodes, but what do I know? This does kind of like give me what I was asking for in the first episode, from the first episode, is just give me a little bit, slow it down just enough so that I can keep up. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of cover the main things. So you got the UN, you got the Ceres station, and you've got what's going on with the lifeboat, basically the night shuttle that's left out there by itself. So I'm going to first start with the UN on Earth. So so now I understand that the person that they had basically there goes that drinking game starting again. So she thinks this terrorist had like stealth technology, or he did. So that kind of leads me to believe that the stealth technology has probably got something to do with that ship that showed up and blew up the Canterbury. So we're starting to see a conspiracy being set up here that's going to be causing something major between probably Mars, the Belters, and Earth. And so this guy, that they were torturing for information, I almost said it again. She wants him sent to Luna, which I guess is the moon. I'm not sure of all the places yet because they haven't really established any of it. They're using words for places and stuff like that we haven't seen or been to, or things like that. And so she's got this guy, getting transferred so that they can question him some more, and he ends up killing himself en route to that place by not taking the drugs that you're supposed to take when you're gonna take off. So he dies there. And I have this here with me just because, man, I am just trying to keep up with this show. So that's it really for the UN part. I do like this, the conversation between her and the other guy who is the undersecretary, talking about they were using banned torture techniques, and this guy's pretty intimidated by her. So it shows she may seem just like this kind of I don't know, unassuming, but she seems to be pretty powerful. Now on Ceres Station we have Miller, and Miller, I love the technology he uses, whatever it is. I don't care, it's something that doesn't exist right now, I guess, but the device he uses to pattern the voice of Julie Mao was really cool. It's just kind of just saying words, having a recording of her voice and saying it enough times so that it matches up, and that you can get access to everything that she has in her house, since everything's voice activated. So look to that for the future, right? Big Brother, just using your voice patterns to be able to unlock everything that you use with your voice. So that's a little scary. But through this, he starts breaking it down. And that he's also tasked to find out about this section of the place that's got waters being diverted. And speaking of the water being diverted, there's, we get more into the water rationing, how important these ships that bring ice back to places like Ceres Station are. So with the Canterbury blowing the hell up, that's going to be a major problem for this place, because the one guy says, one shipment, is bad. You get 2 lost shipments and you start seeing dead bodies. So now you got water being stolen from one section by another place. So he's got to find this girl, and now he's got to find water. And he does track it down through these kids basically are just have figured out a way to like divert the water from this place that needs it to themselves so that they can sell it. And they are tracked down and they are stopped. But again, showing Miller's kind of like trying to do the right thing. He does let these kids go, basically kind of giving them like, I could throw you right to the wolves, but just, you want to do your small time stuff, we get it, but as soon as you mess with the water, then you're going down, because the water is life. And then Miller also was able to track down like her like messages with her parents. I like that the guy that plays her father is the dude who was on all the Dharma Initiative videos on Lost. That's pretty cool. I can't remember his name, but you can tell I was right. She's a rich girl, comes from money, and she's rebelling, defiant, trying to find her own way. Pissed off at her parents. Saying that they see her in them, like meaning that they used to be like her and then they gave up along the way, or however life happened. So it's not a new story. The whole I'm mad at my parents, gonna find my own way in the universe. I don't want their, I'm taking a stand, the protester type that we've seen in many, many things. There's real people out there like that, and that's fine. That's your life. That's your choice. I myself don't have anything against it, just it's not for me. So he tracks her down, like as they said they were going to sell her like ship, and she's like, whatever, go ahead, do what you got to do. And through this he finds out that she has been seen. She was they tracked down where the ship should be. That she was going to get sold, but her face reminds this guy of a person she punched out, and that reminds him that she took she boarded the Scapuli, which is this ship from the beginning of the show. That is the place that everybody went to on the Canterbury. That is the lifeboat. So nobody's there. That's where she was. And it says like just some passengers. There's no like cargo or anything else. So what the hell was on that ship? Pretty crazy. It makes me wonder, like maybe it wasn't an organism on that ship. Now, I really don't know anymore. And I am really intrigued at where this is going. Because it all seems to be connected through some very like small details. Things seem to be very connected to each other. So he knows that she's not on that ship, that she's not at Ceres Station, that she was on this ship. So now we get to take it to our little lifeboat, the shuttle, that's damaged. They've got to try to stay alive. They got the whole problem with the hole in the Jesus Christ. I'm gonna need to look it up again. They gotta get the thing shut. I feel stupid. The airlock. Okay, so they gotta get the airlock shut. They figured that out. I mean, it's basically just about staying alive at this point. But now they need a communicator, that's damaged, and they gotta go out there. And one of the things I like is that everybody's being very pragmatic. We don't have what is, in a lot of things like this, especially it has to do with science, and you got people out there in space that, panic or suddenly don't know how to do their jobs, and like story gets in the way, or just, dumb cliches that happen. And instead we have like real reactions to things. How people would be panicked a little bit, but in shock. Like they don't just overblow it. There's not the person that's just like, game over, man, game over. And just like, the one guy is upset, but it's like, it's, your whole world just got exploded and you're trapped out in the middle of nowhere. And the fact that they know that they have to stay calm and get the job done no matter how they feel about each other, which is another thing. Like when they're outside trying to fix the communicator, I think that's what they're doing. And just getting the air going and all that stuff. The one guy's talking about how he gets asked the question about whether or not him and the girl are having are together. And his explanation is so great about like, well, look, let me tell you this. I can't figure out whether or not I should just knock your helmet off and throw you into space. But I know she wouldn't like it. And then just calmly like, hey, can you pass me the screw, the power drill? Thank you. Just like it's regular conversation, the way people would kind of be like, it's very refreshing to hear people talk kind of the way people talk. Even in this crazy situation. The guy that from Royal Pains who's in this series, I like, the one guy's like freaking, having his air is toxic, he's losing things, and they connect each other and they both almost die. And there are a couple of cliches here, and if you're a good enough show, you get forgiven for them. But not all the time, as long as this isn't like an ongoing thing. So first you got the whole thing doesn't work, you kick it, and it suddenly turns on. Okay, fine. You get one of those, okay? You get one Fonzie, poof, where, you hit something and it turns on. Great, okay. Then you get the air trying to get the guy to breathe. Oh no, he died. And then, he wakes up. Okay, 2 in one episode. You're pushing it a little on the cliche front, but you get one. You get one of those too. So now you've used up 2 cliches. If you do too many more, like, I'm not saying that the show wouldn't be good. It's just, when you're as authentic as the show is so far, throwing these little cliches in there kind of just take me out of the belief of how realistic this show is. I know it's just a television show, it's not really happening, but you get one. I mean, better shows have done other shows that are good have done these things, and they get away with it by being good. Just don't push too many of these. And then they get finally get a signal that is responded to by what they don't want, which is Mars. Mars, this big old ship, their flagship, is en route to rescue them. It should be mentioned that I do also like the beginning of where the ship that killed their friends is taking off, and Holden wants to go after them. Now, it's not a good idea to go after them. You're in a shuttle and you can barely live. So I do like how they are like able to control that situation and worry about the here and now. Because going after that thing would be suicide. They're already basically in a suicide situation, without going after it. So anyway, jumping back to they're going to be boarded, they're going to be taken on board this Navy Mars ship. And I do like what Holden does, which is we go on there, we're probably not walking out of there unless, and they figure out, they got to tell people what happened. They got to make a message. He does. They don't like it. I'm a little unsure of why, except, everybody's just afraid of, getting killed. But I do think that was the best call, which was get a little insurance and hope that somebody sees your message, because then they won't do anything. Because the balance that they all have between Earth and the Belt and Mars is so fragile that, hopefully somebody gets the message that, this was a trap. This stealth technology took our ship out. We, blah, blah, blah. He lays it all out pretty good. And so I'm hoping, once because they are taken, they're saying, don't move, you'll get killed. And I feel like one of the last thing I want to talk about is that balance. That You know, my goodness. Everybody is basically just so afraid of the, I feel like the belters are like this, like Mars does only so much and Earth only does so much, like that whoever controls the belters really controls everything. That one way or another, like if one sways too far to the Earth side, one sways too far to the Mars side, the whole thing is just gonna go crazy. So that's really interesting because it, you know, they make it sound like these belters have no power. Like they, you know, the belters believe they don't have any power, and I feel like if they knew how much power they had, that things would start changing pretty crazy. And you know, for all of you that have seen it before, please don't spoil the show for me in the comment section or anything. But yeah, great, another great episode. I will probably be doing at least one more tomorrow. I'll probably do episode 3 tomorrow. Maybe even episode 4, but I got a lot of stuff I've got going on, a lot of plans for the channel in the next couple of days. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We passed 200 subscribers. This is the first video I'm talking about that. It's amazing how far we've come in just such a short amount of time. Maybe other channels blow up quicker than this, but I just want to thank everybody that watches any of my videos for any support and comments and well wishes and blah blah blah. Seriously, I do this for fun, and I do this to get my voice out, and I do this for people that want to hear, you know, fresh takes on things. So again, I really appreciate getting me to over 200 subscribers. It's just, I can't believe it. So this is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews saying we will see you on the next video, whatever, and have a great weekend. Bye.